Croeso I Bysgota Cymru. Welcome to Fishing in Wales. Well, welcome to Foxhill Fishery here in Pembrokeshire. Small still water, just about 3 acres, and we're going to have a day's fishing. And throughout the day, I'm going to show you different techniques. And as you can see, I've got the rod holder, got 4 rods set up, and there is a reason for that. If I've got all my methods set up, I'll change quickly and efficiently. If you've only got 1 rod, it means you've got to de-rig and rig again. So let's not talk about it. Let's get out in the water and put these methods to the test. Right, I'm going to start the day. I've just talked you through just the methods that I am going to try throughout the day. Number 1, obviously small still waters. We know there's some fresh fish in there. So I've got a pulling pattern, I've got a fast intermediate, 14-foot leader and a lure on the point. That's what my first thing. Second, small still waters in the winter. It's got to be a bung, hasn't it? So the bung set up there. Then for more imitative, I've got a floating line with 2 nymphs, and then finally I've got a washing line. So those are the 4 methods I'm going to try. So instead of talking about it, let's put it on the water and try and catch a fish. Right, intermediate, and I've got a really mini small snake. Winter patterns, I like to use more natural fibres, your rabbit zonkers. The reason for it is there's a lot of movement without you having to impart a lot of movement with the retrieve, so you can retrieve it a bit slower, but there's more movement in that fly. And everybody says winter's slow and steady. Sometimes the fish want it faster, but stop talking. That was a good take. Let's see if he follows. Nope. There's a couple of fish just topping to my right, so one thing with small still waters, once you've had 3 or 4 casts, you're guaranteed the fish have actually seen your fly. If you haven't had any response, change the colour, change the speed, and customer, there's another one topping over there now. So rather than changing method, if I speed this up, then I'll bring the fly higher up in the water. So let's get it over to where that fish was. And let's just speed it up a little bit. So a lot of the time, with a floating line, you can see the takes at distance, but with an intermediate, especially a clear intermediate, a lot of people use what they call the swing tip method. When you're retrieving, obviously you can feel the take, but when you stop, just watch the line in between the tip and the water, and that little slack line sometimes can tighten up. But if you don't watch that, what will happen is, it just took there. You're just watching it, and if it straightens up, then it means a fish has taken you. But by the time you've retrieved, if you weren't watching, then you've missed that fish. There we go. Just tightened up. Just on that pause. Right. Now, in the winter, fish are fit. Ooh, that's a cracking fish. But play them hard. because you're going to release. You don't want to be fighting them when they get tired. So, try and keep them in the water, wet your hands. Right, there's the little snake just in the corner of the mouth. Look at that, cracking fish. And then we can just let him go. And there you go, just as easy as that. A couple of takes, and then just that pause, watching the swing tip, fish on. Right, second method, let's go. Right, pulling worked, but I noticed a lot of fish topping. So I'm not going on dries. Best next thing is washing line. So I've got a mini booby. Now be very careful, some small still waters don't allow you to use boobies. They do at Foxhill. And I've got a small jalbach on a midge tip. So with this now, I can fish in the top 6 inches. And you know what's happened? As soon as I've put this on, oh no, there is one over there, but there was a load of fish rising over here. And since I put this on, I've not seen a fish. But let's see if they like the nymph, or will they ever go with the booby? That was just straight away. Now, I was going to talk to you about how to fish this method, but we've been rudely interrupted. He's taken the small black booby, cormorant booby on the point. And it just proves in the winter, you know, sometimes these fish are not that deep down. Ooh, okay. Right, look at that. That's a cracking rainbow. Whoops. Really chunky. Fit, hard fighting, and ready to go back. I didn't think it'd be that quick. Right, let me explain to you about the washing line and how to do it. Right, now, got a bit of a crosswind, okay? So I'm going to use that crosswind. I want a bow to appear in the line. And sometimes, yes, the fish want it fast, sometimes they want it slow, but here's a really important tip. Sometimes they want it really slow. So think of the slowest figure of 8 you can do, but half the speed again. Okay. Right, the midge tip, I mean, it covers a multitude of sins. You've got like the Rio midge tip, which is a 3-foot intermediate section. Basically, it's just a floating line with an intermediate bit stuck on the end of it. The good thing about it is that once you cast it out, oh, here we go. Oh, I missed him. Oh, just on the stop. So the good thing, what happens with, if you're in a crosswind, that intermediate section cuts in, so it allows you to fish your flies exactly where you landed the cast. Whereas if you were on a full floater, the floater gets dragged around. So you can get them 3 foot. This is the Snowbie. It's like a 6 or 7 foot tip. Airflow do a slow intermediate, a fast intermediate. They even do a 12 foot, 2 12-foot tips as well. But I just find the 3 to 6 foot perfect. It just bites in, it's underneath there, and using the booby then as on the point flight, it's like a depth controller. So the line's taking the flies to a certain depth, and then the booby's maintaining that depth. Right, washing line, yeah, to be honest with you, I think that is the best method of the day so far. So many takes, so many little offers, but I'll try another method now. And yes, it's the Marmite method. It's going to be the bung. Hate it, love it, whatever. It catches fish, especially in the winter. It gives you depth control, keeps your flies in front of those fish. So And as you can see, that's the beauty with the rod holder, with everything. You know, it's taking me a second to put that rod away, and I'm out with a different method. I think it's important in the winter to change methods quickly. So, there you go. Right, mentioned the bung. I tend to use competition legal bung. What that means is there's just a hook in it. That's it. You can get the rugby ball shaped ones, the fish pimps. You can get these adjuster bungs. There's just screwed there that slides up and down. The plus with these is you can adjust the depth easily. With the competition bungs, it's on a dropper, okay, so you can't adjust the depth. You can buy these. This is homemade, this one. Slightly elongated as well, so it tends to sort of sit at that depth in the water. You get the Fario ones now, easily bought online. And if I'm actually going fishing buzzers, smaller stuff, lighter stuff, I'll go slightly smaller indicators, because obviously they've got to be a bit more sensitive. And you go the bigger ones, the original bungs we used to use, which we used to call the sofa bungs or the what's it bung. I still love these because actually I catch a lot of fish on these, whether it looks like a sedge or whether you could say it's a floating pellet or whatever it is. The fish tend to take them, as opposed to these types of ones that sit like that. The fish aren't as confident taking them. The downside of these is they spin a lot, so that's why I've gone to that one. Don't get as many fish, but it doesn't spin and it settles exactly where your flies are. The other, I'm going to give you a little secret now, right? In competitions, right? And if you ever going to enter a competition, you cannot have a dropper without a fly on. So how am I going to adjust the depth of my flies if I'm using a bung? Well, FIPSMOOS, which is the international governing body all around the world, you can allow leader rings. So what I actually do, I got my leader from my line, and I've got a leader ring here, I've got a leader ring here, and I've got a leader ring here. 1 foot difference. So if I set my fly, and if I want to go a foot deeper, I just take my dropper off this leader ring, put it on the leader ring. Then, if I want to go deeper again, I take the dropper off and I attach it to that. So even in competitions, you can actually adjust your depth quite quickly if you adapt this leader ring system into your bung setup. That's a little tip. Don't tell everybody. Okay, underneath the bung, in the winter, eggs. To be honest with you, I used to hate eggs. When we used to use the fly foam, the eggs were really, really solid, but since the ecstasy came out, all these eggs now, they look bulky, but as soon as the fish mouth closes, it collapses. So the hook hold on these now are brilliant, all shapes, all sizes. Then we've got the wormy type thing, the glister worms, normal worms. You can have the little bugs. So, and don't be afraid to use these, or even in the winter, you could put a couple of buzzers underneath it. Doesn't really matter. But it's surprising. I've got all different colours, and one day you can't go wrong with that colour. The next day, no fish will look at it. So that's why variation of colours. Stick it out there. Nothing happens. Change your colour. Change your look. Well, you've got a weed bank, but 5-6 yards closer in. So I'm just fishing over the drop off. Ah, interesting. We've got 2 flies underneath the bung, and it looks, yes, it's taken a top fly. And to be honest with you, I think I should drop it down, because with the washing line, the fish were taking close to the surface. Exactly the same with this one. You can see the depth there. Whoa, okay, calm down. There we go. There's the egg fly in its top lip. And as you can see, beautiful chunky Foxhill rainbow. Oh, shining in the sunlight. Right, let's get him back. Right, if you're fishing buzzers with a bung, it's fine to allow that bung to drift slowly across with the wind. But I find if you're using any of the worms, any of the eggs, any of these big things, if the bung is continuously moving, you're not going to have as many takes. So when you retrieve it, so you're moving the bung 6 or 8 inches towards you. Once you've stopped, take a loop of line here, lift the rod up and down, so put some slack in the line. That will allow the bung to resettle. It'll allow whatever fly you're using underneath to settle in that spot before the wind takes up that slack. Then retrieve again, and that's all I do. Lift my hand up, there's that loop of line, lift the rod up and down, and it just put that bit of slack there. It allows that bung to settle, and what you'll find is as it settles, as that fly goes down, that's when you get the take. There we go. While I cast that out, there's about 2-3 yards of line left on the reel, and struggling to see the bung a little bit, but that fish just buried it. Ooh. There we go. Oh, the fly came out in the net. Brilliant. Whoopsie daisy, come on. Oh, when the fly comes out the net, don't even have to touch the fish. Catch and release, done. There he goes. Right, bung away, and now my favourite form of fishing, straight line nymphing. So, it could be the hardest challenge, to be honest with you. With this wind, right, small nymph, jowl bach, complete floating line, and then just let the wind do it for you. Slow figure of 8, slow, static, with the odd tweak. And hopefully, things go tight. Right, so when I'm actually retrieving, what I'm looking at is the furthest part of the line that I can see comfortably for any movement, any straightening. So if there's a little kink in it, any straightening of that, it'll straighten way before you feel the fish or you feel the take. So watch that. If it straightens, you have to tighten into it straight away. Right, straight out, just let it swing round, just tightened up. Now I'll be honest with you, we've had 4 or 5 casts. One half-hearted take. Ooh, I think could be the best fish so far. He's fighting better. But I'm using this in-touch floater, so there's no stretch in it, which is great for bite detection, but when they're kicking like this, don't half get your heart going, I tell you. Right. I wonder, top dropper or point? Let's have a look at you. On the Vicar. Ooh, okay. He's not ready. Come on. Oof. Yeah. Ooh. Now that's why he was fighting. Cracking tail. Look at that. Now that is... No wonder that was pulling. Look at that. And just in the top lip, the old Vicar. But look at that. Well, challenge complete. All 4 methods. Now, if I had to pick one out of 4 today, it would definitely be the washing line, 100%. The bung was all right, but far more takes, far more interest in the washing line. Even though it's cold, the wind, it's got teeth today. Even though the sun is out, I don't think those fish at that deep. Struggled a little bit with straight line nymphing, and I think because I was going below those fish. And same thing with the bung. I think I was still too deep. That's why I think the washing line was the go-to method today. But it's still early, and there's a few fish moving. So for the heck of it, I'm just going to put a dry on, and let's see if we can fool one more fish. Who knows? I must be crazy, but let's give it a go. Now, anybody that fishes dry fly, you know, as soon as you put a dry fly on, all the fish stop feeding. It's as if they've got this sixth sense. But there were half a dozen fish earlier when we started fishing, cruising around in this area. So there's got to be one silly fish. There's definitely one silly fisherman, so there's got to be one fish to match me. Fishing downwind, just letting it drift, throwing a lot of slack. The one thing is you don't want to do is hold the dry against the wind, because you'll get a lot of aborted takes. Fish will come up, and last minute they turn away, because a natural fly will just get blown with the wind. So if it's holding against that wave, it doesn't look natural. Come on. It's there for you. Come up and take it. That's in front of your nose. Come on. Oh, you're looking at it. I want to claim a moral victory. I've had 3 takes. One I missed. The other one, the fish missed the fly. The third one, yeah, I wasn't going to get that fish. The wind just dropped down that little bit and the fish were up straight away. I'm going to persevere a little bit more. In the calm, right at the top of the lake, there's a little bit more activity, but I'm loath to move from this area because we've caught all the fish here and there's fish in this area. It's just when that just that fraction drop in the wind, the fish was straight up. So going to carry on a little bit longer. I've fooled them, but I haven't landed them. So let's see. Go on. Head and tail on it. Come on. Wow, I tell you what. I was going to admit defeat. I'll tell you that now. When the wind died down, there was a lot of activity. But the winds got high. Swung that around. Ooh, come on then. Let's have a look here. Right. Beautiful fish. And I'll be honest with you, it wasn't on the dry. It was on the nymph just above it. But let him go back. Off you go, mate. There you go. Not quite challenge complete, but we caught on all 4 methods, and I suppose you could call this one a little bit of a washing line type method as well. Great day, and the beauty with small waters like this, if it gets really cold, you can pop into the cabin, get a cup of coffee, come back out again, warm yourself up and come back out. And the great thing as well about venues like this, if you're unsure of a method and you're not sure exactly how to fish it, this is where you can get a lot of confidence. And I've got 4 different methods. Every one of them has worked today. The best one, definitely the washing line. The bung worked as well. The straight line nymphing worked. If I wanted to catch a lot of fish, I'd have stayed on the midge tip on the washing line. But all in all, a fantastic day here at Foxhill, and I'll be back pretty soon. Discover fishing in Wales.